You're really taking Tekken seriously, huh? I mean, I'm just playing the game, having a little bit of fun with it. It's fun to learn things, and I am fortunate enough to be able to have people who are willing to help me learn some things. So yes, guys, we will have PhiDX on to teach me some Tekken. PhiDX is a really strong Tekken competitor, and also he's doing the YouTube game, and I think he recently just went full-time on YouTube and does a lot of content about the competitive journey, improving tutorials, things of that nature. So things that would help the beginner to intermediate to advanced level competitor for Tekken. And he's really good. He's really nasty. He had a tournament win over Arslan this year. I think he got third at the LCQ for the final Tekken 7 World Tour. So he's been cooking for sure. And he graciously agreed to do this last minute to hop on and teach me a little bit of Tekken. He's so good at teaching. Will I finally learn how to get off the ground? We'll see.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
I'm doing good. PhiDX is the name, correct? Because
yes, perfect.
Okay. I had to practice that because it wasn't until very recently that I hear the name said. I had a PhiDX going on.
It's the most unwinnable 50-50 for me, so it's really cool. No big deal.
All right, we got the first 50-50 down. I hear Tekken's there's a lot of 50-50 situations, so it's good to hear that the first one we got. But I just want to say thanks for doing this last second to spend some time teaching me Tekken, and you said yes very graciously, so thank you.
It works fantastic for me. It's been a pleasure. It's been an idea I've had. I would have the idea of working with people, not only other creators, but people from other games. So like, that's something I've always been interested in. So
I feel like always a good way to start is to give a clear indication of the skill gap by just letting you beat me up for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, if that works for you, it works for me.
I'm down. All right. I gotta warn you though. I do know how to do Death Fist and Demo Man. Just gotta let you know, fair game ahead of time.
Oh. It's already working.
Okay. Oh god. Oh no.
Oh.
No! Oh, that's armored. You hit me out of my armored move, right? I don't even know what...
I think so. I might have done a low.
Maybe I should save the questions. Oh god. Okay. Nice. Oh no. Oh! Oh no.
I ducked. I was dead.
You saw the missed Death Fist right there?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh god. Oh. What? Oh, I don't have heat? Where did my resource go?
It timed out.
Oh, what?
Oh, no.
No!
Oh!
Devil Man! No! Yes!
Oh!
The green ring special. Oh my god. Oh! What?
Oh.
Oh.
I mashed it. I'm dead. Oh, nice. It is so ugly, man.
God, I don't know combos. Okay. Oh god. Okay.
Oh.
Oh no.
Okay.
No. Oh! I did not even mean to do that. I gotta be honest.
Perfect armor placement.
Nice.
Oh! Oh my god.
Almost. Even with the accidental moves in there, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah, that one armor move was perfect.
The truth of it, I do know that move, the back 1-2, but the truth of it is I was just trying to get off the floor.
Gotcha.
Which is gonna be one of my biggest questions I have to you, so I can purposely do armored move on wake up when I want to, rather than accidentally do it.
Yes, that'll be important.
See, that's why I like the Paul, the beginner character, right? I feel like it's kind of like a toddler with a shotgun. You know what I mean? You don't have to know too much to hit hard.
You say toddler, but like you play other fighting games at like a pretty high level, right? So it's not like they gave you just enough to know how to do someone in. Like,
yes,
if you can win the 50-50.
Yes,
right?
I understand there's a 50-50 there, and I get sort of the mind game behind that in this game.
Yeah.
It's when to do it, how to execute, how to move, everything else in between that I still have yet to learn. So why don't we try to somehow get into training mode? So chat knows, I guess Tekken 8 doesn't have online training, which would have been super useful for this. So we're going to jerry-rig this together. I'm going to do training mode locally, and then let's see if I can get PhiDX here on Parsec.
Hey, we're in.
Look at that.
Oh, okay. I need
Whoa. Weird technology.
Okay, so I guess in order to help you best, I usually have like preliminary questions to try and understand like just a bit of everything. So first thing is, I guess, how much Tekken experience do you have? Like, is this casual before or serious before?
I played Tekken 3 when I was like 10 years old, and I figured out how to do the fully charged Paul Death Fists, and then I did that to my friend across the street, and then he never wanted to play with me ever again. So that was
checks out.
that was very short. Like once I cracked that code, that was the end of Tekken 3 in the rotation. And then besides that, I played Tekken 7 when it came to consoles. I guess I was 2017 for like 2 weeks, but I quit because the rematch speed took about 30 years to go from one match to the next, so I said screw this.
And then in 8, do you see yourself just playing ranked, like casually on and off?
Like, I want to get to the point where I'm in control of the moves on the screen. Maybe I don't know when to do what move, but at least like I know the input systems and I know if I'm mis-executing or not, because I'm still in the phase where getting off the ground, I have no idea what's happening, so I can't even tell what I'm doing right or wrong. Movements, I still can't tell what optimal movement is supposed to look like, what the inputs are, what it's supposed to feel like. And then there's a lot of like grab mechanics and things like that where I just don't know even where to begin to start learning. So I don't necessarily want to have all the answers. I just want to understand a little bit about what I'm doing, when I'm doing something right versus wrong. I at least have a little bit of clear context for that.
You probably understand notation and the buttons and the very basics, things like that, right? Like,
yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I get that. I know like while rising, forward, 4, while running, I guess. Like chat can feed me a combo input and I can do the combo.
Got you. And you feel good? How do you feel about the high, mid, low system? Does that make a lot of sense? Is that pretty clear?
Yeah, so let me run it past you and you tell me if I'm right or wrong. So highs, you can block standing, but if you duck, they'll just whiff entirely. Mids, you need to block standing, and you can also block by not moving at all, I think. And then,
yes, generally not preferred, but yes, you can.
And then lows, you gotta hold down back and yeah, you can block them. And usually, and in my understanding of like the main mix up with those is that generally it's like the inverse of Street Fighter, where lows are the overheads. Lows are usually more rare, so your default defense is usually blocking mids.
Yeah, so, that's a good way to describe it. I think philosophy behind preferring stand block, it's just you cover the scarier options, right? All of the big combo starters are mid.
Right.
I think in terms of frequency, they'll come out similarly, but in terms of risk reward, it's why we stand block, is you just cover more options, you're safer, you're not exposing yourself for no reason.
I already got over that hump. That was like my first 2 weeks of Tekken 7, or like my first week. I would hold down back every single time on wake up, because that's what you do in Street Fighter. So I get that now. Every once in a while in a panic, I'll like go back to my Street Fighter roots, or I'll hold up. I'll try to jump a command grab. But for the most part, I get that mid is generally the default option. Then you're kind of calling out the lows.
Then we're pretty solid. I think, okay, so you talked about getting off the ground, and then you mentioned throws and stuff. Let's start with the ground, because I think the ground is where more brain power happens. The throw part, for better or worse, is more like mechanics practice. So let's go in the other order. That makes more sense. So throws are very straightforward. It's just a bit annoying. This is my 1+3 throw. This is my 2+4 throw, right? You can see one is right-handed, one is left-handed. And this is two hands, right? Two hands coming out at the same time. Oh my goodness, skill issue. Okay. You see that here? So the hands tell us how to escape the throw. In Street Fighter, I think throws are a read, right? If they walk up to you, you just mash the break button because you think they're going to throw you. In Tekken, we do the opposite. We let the throws come, and react to them once we see which hand comes in. So as one might expect, the left hand comes out first. We break it with our left punch button.
So left punch button is always the left, like 1. So
yes,
right.
This is a bit messed up because Victor's throws are bugged. So we might. Yeah, can you put me on Jin? So when I do this throw, you see how his right arm comes out first. Once it makes contact with you, you can mash 2 and break the throw.
Okay, let's try again.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Exactly. Yep. So usually what happens is we'll just play the game, a throw will happen, and people will go, oh yeah, I'm supposed to break that.
Right. Yeah, very.
So that's why I mean it's more mechanical. It's like you're reacting to it more than preparing for it or trying to read it. There are exceptions. People might bring that up. We'll cover that later. Tekken is always that case. There's something general and then there's exceptions.
So I know about the general throw. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't they make it so that 1 or 2 will break either of these? Like this left or right thing, is that still 100% required? Or
so the reason I didn't bring that up in the first place is because it's like a half rule.
Okay.
So if I walk up to you and do the generic throw, like you can't really visually tell. These are the generic throws I'm doing.
Right.
And these are the command throws I'm doing. They look almost the same. Like if you don't look at my character's body input, they look actually now they literally look the same.
Sure.
So I usually don't teach people the command throw method because eventually you'll run into this and be like, why couldn't I break it? Like if you mash the 2 button, it looks the same.
So you're saying generic throws you can break with 1 or 2, but there's command grabs that follow that same rule based on the arms where you have to specifically break them with the associated button.
Correct.
So the command throw with the left arm going forward, I have to press my left punch button.
Yeah, if you mash 2 here, it won't work.
Okay, so it's good practice to just get that skill to react to the arm, because even if it's a generic throw, worst comes to worst, you reacted incorrectly, but you still teched it with the wrong button. But in the best case scenario, you're actually teching a command throw appropriately, and if you don't develop that skill, command throws will just free you up.
That's my exact philosophy, is that
okay, makes sense.
You can get by without it. You'll run into somebody who will love throwing you and it will feel terrible.
Right, okay, that makes sense. I see.
You'll probably eventually run into a character like King, who breaks all the rules of the throws.
You're trying to save me a little bit too late. I've already been put in the grave. I've been, rolling death cradled? It already happened multiple times.
So the 2 throws I'm talking about, I'm going to create some space just so you can see the animation here. This one is a 1 break. It's the giant swing. And the other one, same animation. Oh, I messed up. This one will be a 1+2 break. So still both hands.
That's a 50. The giant swing versus the knee grab, that's a 50-50 in and of itself, because you'll memorize the startup animation, and then you have to pick which one to tech with.
Correct. And the only real clues are, because giant swing goes behind you, if their back is to the wall, they're probably looking to giant swing you. Okay,
so giant swing is a side swap, so most likely they'll want to put you into the corner, whereas the knee grab...
And it does more damage when you hit the wall. So,
okay. So the giant swing is a 1 break or a 2 break?
Giant swing is a 1 break.
Okay.
And then the counterpart, Shining Wizard, is a 1+2 break.
1 versus 1+2. Okay.
Correct.
Try to do the giant swing on me. I just want to see the... Oh, that was... Oh, okay. Okay, so you input that tech pretty early. Just the animation for the tech comes out pretty late. Okay, yeah. It's hard for me to tell, like, at what point my tech registered or not. Yeah, you press that way earlier than you see it. Okay, gotcha.
So that's kind of the throw breakdown. And then every character, they've started continuing to add these like gimmick throws or unique throws where they either have a special break or they're unbreakable because they come out of stance. So that's like the knowledge check.
Sure.
We want the attacker to have more fun kind of design.
Okay.
And now that you have the primer, I think it's pretty much a matter of when it happens to you, somebody in chat might tell you that you break with this, right?
Right. Yeah, it's just, that's just building upon your database there. So the one I do want to know though, rolling death cradle.
Okay.
Let's get the one knowledge check down, because that one it's a little painful. So what's the deal with that thing?
Hit start real quick for me. Go to practice setting, and you're gonna set it to defense from training mode at the top there. Defense. Yep. CPU opponent action 1. Go ahead, select from move list. This is a nice change. You don't have to do the chain throws yourself anymore. You can actually look. So throws are all at the bottom, and rolling death cradle is 188.
180. Okay. Rolling death cradle.
Before we click it here, I wanna follow the move list. It says during chicken wing face lock. So let's scroll up to chicken wing face lock 2 above, and that says during arm breaker. So we'll go all the way up to the top of this little mini. Okay.
Okay.
Chain throw. There are multiple throws. In this case, every step is breakable. So arm breaker, as you can see on the right, says throw escape 1.
Okay.
The first chance is when he does the initial grab.
Right.
The second chance is at chicken wing face locks. If you go back to 186, you'll see it has that 1+2. So after the arm breaker hits you, say you failed that throw.
Sure.
Then you can try mashing 1+2.
Okay.
So why don't we click on that first? Just click on this chicken wing face lock. And you can back out of here and hit, what is it? Play is select plus B. There we go.
Okay, yeah.
So there's the first throw and there's the second throw. So we can just do those two for now. The first one is a 1 break.
Okay.
It's one of those hidden ones that you can't tell.
So when is the tech when I'm gonna let the first one happen. So the first one happens. Now here. What is the tech for that one?
Second one, as soon as you have failed the first tech window, you should be mashing your second tech window.
Oh,
right?
You had to do it early.
Because you're you're committed to this anyways. You're guessing between 2 or sometimes 3 options.
So I guess you haven't gotten to that one yet, but I'm guessing the point is there's actually multiple routes you can go after this first grab, and 1+2 is one of them.
Yes.
So once the first one happens where he grabs my arm, breaks it over his shoulder, that's the first one. So I'm in a bad spot there, and I got to start guessing.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why this initial one is so annoying, is because it's truly ambiguous, and then you're put in a chain. And if you guess wrong over and over, it could just be disaster.
So you can
now there is
it.
some. Okay. I'll talk a bit about the psychology a bit after, but let's go back to the pause menu and just add the rolling death cradle, and then we can see all 3 steps that you can break. So you just select rolling death cradle, and it will do all 3 steps. So the first step is a 1 break, the chicken wing face lock is a 1+2 break, and the rolling death cradle is a 2 break.
So does he have to go through this route? So it has to be the 1, 2, and then rolling death fist cradle? Like it has to be rolling that route to get there?
Can only come out of this route. The commonplace advice, like the dude in the living room advice, is just mash 2. Don't ever take the rolling death cradle.
So after... Okay, so 2 is the one that will stop rolling death cradle. But so I'm guessing there's something else he could have done there for damage that is not a 2 break, but it won't be as bad as rolling death cradle.
Exactly. So the reason people, that's why people say mash 2 is because rolling death cradle does the most damage, and you can, if you see how much damage you took just from the 2 hits.
Yeah, it's bad. Bad time. Okay, that's good to know to save me the embarrassment that I've already felt.
Yeah, the generic decision making against King's chain throws is there's a max damage route, and then maybe 1 or 2 lesser damage routes. And as a default, if I've never fought the King player before, I'm doing the max damage break like every time.
Gotcha.
I want to play the game more. I want to get more chances to outplay you, so I'm going to save as much HP as possible. But I have played a really good King player on the West Coast, and he recognizes that psychology, so he only does the safe one. So against him, we have a bit more of like a mind game, right?
Right. Yeah, once you're actually playing the game, I'm at the phase where I just need to stop Kings who are mashing from not letting me play the game. So this is definitely good. Just a hard rule for me for now.
Perfect.
King starts this, I'm mashing too. Once someone forces me to evolve my game plan, I'll get there. But that's good to know. At least one gimmick down.
Yes, there should be one more in the move list that is also very common. Yeah, the King's Bridge right there. So this one is weird because it's only a 2-step throw. So the first break step is the 2, and this is where he grabs your heel. As soon as he grabs my heel, I'm going to mash 1+2 because that denies this one that goes into King's Bridge. So once he sees you you see him grab your foot, I'm mashing 1+2.
And that's it? That was the break?
Yeah, because that will break the step that goes into King's Bridge. Once he lands this part on you, the King's Bridge is guaranteed. So it's only 2 steps. Heel lock, I'm mashing 1+2.
Well, you gotta mash it early. It's okay. It's early window. Okay.
The moment I see that I failed, I'm mashing 1+2 already here. Dirty inputs, just get me out of here.
And it does damage, huh? Can that kill?
It can kill him. It can kill him.
Oh. Is that common to have throw breaks that actually do damage like that?
It's like the old school characters like King, Nina. It's like kind of legacy. There's like a new character that has it kind of, but it's pretty rare.
This is what happens if I fail.
So if you failed this one, there's nothing you could do. The King's Bridge is coming. And the damage is ridiculous.
Ow. So King's Bridge is 2, 1+2, and Rolling Death Cradle is 2.
Yep. And you're looking for as soon as he grabs your heel, that's kind of like, oh, I'm mashing 1+2. Because these routes don't cross over. If he grabs your heel, he can't rolling death cradle you.
Right, gotcha. Okay. Okay, we'll see if I can remember that in a panic versus the next team player I see.
Now, the meat you were trying to talk about, I think, was getting off the ground, right?
Yes.
So tell me your understanding of what happens, like, if you're on the ground. Oh, just do that. Perfect. So if you're on the ground, what is your understanding of kind of like this position? Like, what are you usually looking to do as soon as
Okay. I'm mostly just mashing, because like 1 and 2 is generally what I'm mashing, and I'm holding directions to have some influence. But that's basically my understanding is like, I want to get off the ground. Usually I'm just trying to get off the ground quick. So I'm holding a direction. So I think it influences it, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. I just mash kind of indiscriminately 1+2 and hold directions.
Let me see if I can get on the ground. Oh yeah, I can jump over. Okay, so let me show you. Let me describe the ground options real quick. This is perfect. We picked the perfect character for this. So in this game, while you're standing up, you still have a bit of recovery. If I stand up and try to mash, there's like a delay.
So when you say recovery, just so we're on the same page here, if you don't press any buttons, you can get up and block. So if I went for a Street Fighter style meaty, you can block it or not, because that's something. Okay, you can block it. That's why I was confused, because someone told me that I was getting hit by tech traps, and I didn't understand why I was getting hit if I was actually trying to block. Maybe that's jumping the gun, but that's something where my mind is a little confused based on what you just said, because there was an idea where I thought you couldn't block on wake up.
So try comboing me and then doing a demo man like meaty, like trying to hit me with a demo man as I'm standing up. So basically, if I wake up with down back and no buttons, I can instantly block as soon as I'm standing again.
Same thing for mids? No difference?
Mostly. So let's look at this situation again. I'm facing you like this and my face is to you. If I tap back, I will block mid always.
Okay.
If I stand up straight up like this, that also can block mid.
Gotcha.
Where it won't work, and this time I actually do need to be backwards, is here. If I wake up backwards here, there's a brief window where King's back is turned. And that is what maybe was the tech trap being mentioned. If you wake up backwards like this, you get hit. If you tap up, you get hit. And usually players have gotten really good at knocking you in this position and then just doing their thing that hits you there.
So like
mind games.
So I guess that's the tech trap idea. So say they did a knockdown that set up the situation, and then you try to tech right away. They would have a canned sequence that would just meaty you in that position where you can't block the mid. Yeah.
So I'm gonna call it wake up backwards. The tech is specifically, I'm sure you probably are familiar, but if you knock me in the air with your down forward 2, tech specifically is this like little quick roll, right? So this is when you mash a button as you tap the ground, and this one gives you some invulnerability and is also really important.
So that's usually mashing 1 or any button, does it matter?
So if you mash 1, you go away from the screen. If you mash 3, you go towards the screen. Actually, it's any punch or kick button. So punches go away from the screen. I could do 1 or 2.
Right, the top buttons.
And kicks go towards the screen.
Gotcha.
And this is man, I'm sorry to keep making me switch characters. Can you switch to Victor real quick for me?
Sure. Yeah.
The reason we do tech rolls is because there are like soft infinites that aren't really real that if you don't tech roll can hit you. So go ahead, walk forward, and then don't hit any buttons after I launch you. Yeah. So I can do this, and if you don't tech roll, I can just keep doing this, right? So you can if you tap the 1 button, I'll try that situation again at the wall, and now just mash 1 while I do this. So you either get up and block it, or my move will whiff entirely because you're
right. So the chat was telling me when people sit on the ground with Paul, for example, to do down back 2, right? So this is my move to say, hey, get up. Is that a similar idea to what you're demonstrating there with Victor?
Exactly. Knock me down with down forward 2 and then use that down back 2. We call it flip over because
because it flips you over.
Yeah. And if I just choose to do nothing, or if I wake up backwards here, I can eat like a death fist, I guess. So if you do it to me again,
so wait, why would you? Okay, so right there, you said if I wake up backwards, I could eat a death fist. Why would you eat a death fist there if you woke up backwards?
It's because your character's head is towards them. So they coded a different wake up animation if your head is towards them.
So there's situations where when you're on the ground, if your character is looking at the opponent while you're on the ground, that means that if you tap backwards, you're going to have a back turn on wake up, and you're susceptible to meaties.
Yes. So.
Oh my god.
So knock me down again. Knock me down again. So right here, we call this face up, feet towards.
Face up, feet towards. Gotcha.
This
makes
is
sense.
A different stance a different state of being than face down feet towards.
This is getting very sensual. Okay.
Right?
Gotcha.
And if you look, my kicks actually change, right? So knock me down again. If I just do my low get up kick here, it looks like this.
Right.
If I do it again from the other position, it looks different, right?
Okay.
So,
gotcha.
So that's kind of and that expresses kind of how it works entirely, is that not only are my kicks different, but my wake up is different. I crawl away and my back is exposed. This is insane to say. I crawl away, my back is exposed, and you can hit me again.
I can hit it again. Got it. Okay, makes sense.
So,
but that was face down, ass up. So I get that. but what about you were on your back and your head was turned towards me? So what's the deal there? Okay, if it's just face up or face down, I get that. But yeah, what's that third state you're referring to?
So, this is a disaster. Start flipping me over again.
Okay.
I'll show you. Keep doing it until we end up. Oh wait, no, this is fine. So here, this position, what changes is if you watch my character very carefully, I'm going to tap back right now. And in the initial animation, he's facing away while he's getting up. And that is actually truly vulnerable.
Got you. So if I knock you down and you're here, if I roll sidestep over here, is this the same state?
Yes.
Okay, so it has to do with the relation between us, like the axis we're on. So if I'm near your head, then you're vulnerable. If I'm near your feet, you're safe. And at what point, it's kind of subtle, right? When does that cross over? So
yes, I don't have a firm answer. Sometimes, like, I think in this position, I'll wake up safely. I think if you step right 2 more times.
What does step right mean?
Oh, sorry, sidestep towards the screen.
Like that?
My fault. Yeah, I think here, I'll wake up backwards. So it's somewhere halfway, but the way around it, I would say, if you knock me down again and get in that position, the general safe answer is I will press the 1 button and just side roll. And that will put me in a safer position here. Here I can wake up and block. When
you're on your back, 1 will side roll, or is it when we're off axis, 1 will side roll?
1 is always side roll away from the screen. So if you knock me down.
1 is always side roll away from the screen.
Away from the screen. If I want to go towards the screen,
right? Okay, and you said 3 and 4 will roll towards the screen.
I've confused you, but that's my fault. There's the quick tech roll where you tap the ground. In Melee, you played Melee, right?
Right. Right.
You tap the shield button right as you hit the ground, and you do like a quick get up.
I'm conflating the quick get up option. So quick get up, just refresher. 1 and 2 will quick get up away from the screen, and 3 and 4 will quick get up towards the screen if I tech immediately upon hitting the ground.
Upon hitting the ground, yes.
So if I forego that option and I'm laid on the ground past that window, then there's a different set of options with these buttons.
100%. That's exactly it.
Gotcha.
It's one of those things that becomes intuitive with time, where you just see yourself in the situation over and over. Let me just finish the last option. So if I side roll with just 1, I go towards that sink that's leaking water everywhere.
Sure.
If I hold down and press 1, I roll towards the screen.
Okay.
So there's like a whole handbook for the different ways to exist. Existing on the ground is almost an entirely a different game. It's like it's a fully different game.
We don't have that in Street Fighter. You do not exist on the ground. If a character has an OTG, that's as exotic as we get. So you were mentioning 1 and a direction to control which way to go. Is there any other buttons you can do while just existing on the ground?
Yes. So the fastest way we can lab this actually is in the practice mode. Go ahead and hit start. Go to restart settings, and you can set player status, the 4th one, to down face up. Boom. Now, every time we reset, you'll be on the ground. So you can actually try this out in real time.
Whoa.
So,
okay. My turn. All right.
So if you tap 1, you'll go away from the screen. Yep.
Okay.
Hold down and 1. There you go. If you hold the down direction, you get this extended roll, right?
Okay.
There's 2 options. There's the quick side roll.
Can I do that? I can't do that the other direction, or is that with a different button?
You can do it. It's weird. You hit the 1 first to start the roll, and then you hold down.
Okay. So
kind of like 1 neutral down
of this. Okay.
Perfect.
So now, what if I want to roll again?
Once you do a single side roll extended, you can't do it again.
So now I have to choose a wake up option.
Now you're committed.
Okay.
If this happens, though, you can roll again.
Oh, I should have held down, though, if I wanted to stay on the ground.
Correct. So you do this, I hit you again, you gain access to rolls. But you can also tech roll, like you just did, which is usually better.
Okay. Yeah. Well, usually.
tech roll is the best option 99% of the time. If it's not the best option, somebody will hit you with a setup, and then you'll know next time that.
Got you. Okay, basic on back position. So from here, one will roll that way. Yes. I can hold one and down and roll that way on my back.
Yes.
Do it at the same time, go that way. Fight. And then, so what about the other buttons here? Should we start going down those?
3 is your low kick. And if you reset again, 4 is your mid kick.
That was 22 frames, and this is... So they're both 22 frames. So
22 frames, yeah.
Okay. So they're both
advantage
equally
on
fast.
hit and safe on block. They made them safe on block in these games.
Really?
So it's decent to attack. It's not amazing because there is counterplay. Like I can, if you get in the ground and I sidewalk right, I can dodge it.
Okay.
Other grounded options, you have 3+4 to spring kick. This one is
launch punishable. Okay, that's good to know.
Medium reward, high risk. Maybe even low reward because it doesn't knock down anymore. So here
I didn't know how punishable that was. Can you do that on wake up?
Do what?
The launch kick, just so I can get a feel for punishing it, because this is, I mean, this is the online special,
and it is range specific. That's the weirdest thing of punishing this. So,
okay,
so if you back up a little bit and right about maybe 1 step forward, and then you block this, it's 16. If you are point blank with me,
oh sorry,
it's gonna work well. If you're point blank with me, it's 20.
Right.
So that means at very tip range, it can sometimes be like -11. So you might not always get a launch. It's like weirdly spacing. They're -13.
Gotcha.
Or +13 for you. So it's one of those, because it has so many active hitboxes. If you get a late hitbox, you don't get a good punish.
I mean, that makes sense, right? Active frames and all that. So that's not too strange. That's good to know, though. If you gave him space on wake up, it's actually not a terrible option if there's space, or I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe it still is. So why would someone do that? What is the point of that on wake up? So if I go to do a low on your wake up or something, does it dodge something? What's the point of that move?
I'm not gonna lie, it's really, really bad now because it used to knock down. So you could steal momentum back, knock them down, and reestablish your game. But now it gives no advantage, and you don't knock down anymore. So the only situation where it's kind of good is there's like wall setups. It's like combo video stuff. I wouldn't even call it practical at all.
But so basically, when low ranked players are doing this online, they're just banking on you messing up your pressure or movement. Is that really all it is?
They want to hit you ASAP. Like, I want to get off the ground, and I want to hit you, and I want to play the game again. It's like very, very like.
So if I'm going with my Street Fighter brain and I'm trying to do meaty pressure and I miss my meaty, then they do that on a wake up and I get smacked, and feel dumb. That's the idea.
Yeah. So do a combo on me where you would try to set up that pressure. Right. So what you can do is you can run up and just block. You can, and honestly, at this spacing. Yeah, like after that happens, that shit is traumatizing. Like, I'm in the air again. Like, no. So, but yeah, those are the basic options. My general approach when I end up on the ground is I'm gonna tap up and do nothing for a bit, or I'm gonna tap down back to block and do nothing for a bit.
So let me recap this with an example. So I mentioned earlier, my chat was telling me that this Dragunov player was hitting me with a tech trap, and I didn't quite understand what was going on. So is it likely, because I think I committed to blocking, holding back, whatever. Like I sometimes I mash without even knowing because I'm still so new. But I was pretty sure I was just blocking, and I was getting hit, and it was definitely not a low. So it was most likely the scenario where I was getting up the wrong back turn wake up. I guess I don't know what would be the proper way to call that. A back turn wake up.
Attackers call it a back roll catch.
Okay.
Because you used to roll backwards, but yeah, waking up backwards is another good way to put it. If put me on you can put me on Dragunov. I can see if I can recreate it. So I'm gonna grab you, let it happen, and see if this is what the situation was. Whoa. And if you wake up here, was that what it was?
I don't know. I don't know why.
This is a good example. This is a good example. So don't move. Look at the position. See how your character crawls up backwards when you held back?
Oh, I'm looking away for a second.
Yeah. So your back is exposed. This is a back roll catch.
But that was an immediate tech. So I was doing the quick get up, right?
There are certain situations where you are not allowed to quick tech. Throws are one of them.
Okay, so if I hold back here on wake up, I can still get hit. I mean, I saw that delay where I was kind of facing the wrong way.
Yeah. You have that back roll wake up, you're vulnerable.
Oh, and so if I press 1 instead, what happens there?
Well, I delayed it. I cheated you. I cheated you. That was ridiculous. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. What would happen is I would swing and miss. So you are going to wake up backwards. Try holding... Remember the extended roll? Roll and then down? That puts you on your back again. So now if you wake up with backwards...
Right.
Yeah, I can't hit you. It'll...
Okay, wow. So if I get this grab...
Yeah.
A good option might be... hold... Okay, well... Okay, I didn't tap it quite right.
There you go. No, that was
I can't hold it, right? I kind of have to press it once I hit the ground.
Yeah, you have to... It's you arrive on the ground, and then you have access to that move.
Gotcha.
So grounded, you're actionable now.
Wow, okay, yes. You did do it pretty late. Okay. Can I mash it and hold down?
Yeah, I'm a masher in all my inputs. My inputs in this game are so dirty. So, like, I'm mashing one here and waiting to see my character move.
Okay, great. Okay, so you can hold down, but you have to mash the button, and then and so once I roll here, I could roll and then press a kick if I don't know. Yeah, I don't know when I would do that, but I have those other options.
It's a good option, especially if you've made a habit out of not attacking. It can make them hesitate. Yeah, I'm usually just
and if you go for this meaty here,
yeah.
Oh no, I'm not gonna punish it. Okay, I was wondering if I could like.
You can punish with a get up kick. Actually, maybe
not.
Let me try.
Slow.
That was pretty slow. Yeah, let me see. Oh yeah, no way. Yep, you just have to get up.
Okay.
I think the justification behind the reward is because the throw is reactable, like with the 1+2 break. Their justification is they give them this advantageous position.
This is a command grab for Dragunov?
Yes, this is a 1+2 break command grab.
So can you whiff it? Okay, so it's 1+2 because it's both arms. Is that kind of the idea? Okay.
That's the idea. And you actually have a decent amount of time. As you can see, I started punching you and you still broke it.
Right.
So even if you're hit, it's worth like trying to get that breakout just because you have a decent amount of time.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was definitely getting scooped by some Dragunovs, and then I was getting hit on wake up, and I was like, that's not right. My Street Fighter brain is not accepting what's going on here.
The best way I would summarize it is if you try to hold back and you get hit at waking up, you can probably assume that that's like a back row catch at that point and just spend the next few times doing that side roll or doing some other option and seeing, do I get launched again? And the answer is
right. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, see, this is the context I needed to know because I couldn't evolve my wheel of options, right? It was just, I'm getting hit and I have no clue why. I was even asking you, like, can you block and wake up, right? That's how confused I was. So that makes a lot of sense. Now I can actually choose different options and experiment on the fly and learn while playing.
Yeah, basically the grounded state is a completely different stance, a different mode of existing, and it has its own rules. So it feels like we got good coverage on the basics of that. Okay,
and let me just give you a quick rundown again to check my own memory here because I have goldfish memory. So I can tech get up on a regular knockdown with 1 and 2, which will go in that direction away from the screen. Yeah. And then 3 and 4 will tech it up towards the screen. And those are the quick tech options, which will be most of my get-ups will probably be one of those two.
Yes.
And then in other situations, I can stay on the ground and then hold the direction and then mash 1. Pick a direction, hold it, mash 1. I feel like I did a different getup where I just got up straight away. What is that? If I just get up without rolling?
That one's like the backward wake up.
Or there's that one? Forward wake up? Is there a wake up without?
Forward wake up. Oh.
Is there a wake up where you just stand up?
Tap up.
Oh. Huh.
So we have tap up, tap back, roll forward, and then the button controls the side roll. Oh, and you have down back to wake up blocking low. New button. There, it will instantly block.
Okay, so is there any distinct advantage to those options? They seem slower than the tech get up. So what's the
tech
deal
roll
with
is
those?
The most superior option in 99% of it. If you have the ability to tech roll, you should probably try to do it.
Okay.
There are very, very few downsides. And when somebody's comboing you also, I'm mashing the tech roll button in case they mess up their combo or something. And then you can, oh, wow. I'm giving all the counter examples. There. If somebody drops their combo, you can mash the tech roll. And you'll stop from getting like the guaranteed follow-ups if they mess up, right?
Okay.
It's like a check for them messing.
And if I don't tech roll and I'm trying to do one of the other like delay get up options, you theoretically could get a fake combo and continue it.
Yes. Like if you hold forward here, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you can't block on wake up if you choose one of the directional texts.
Correct. The only way to block on wake up is to select block when you're waking up, which is
so what if I hold
up, tap.
What if I hold back? Is that like
yes, that's valid. So go ahead, hold back. You're blocking.
Okay.
There's no media. Oh.
Well, I held down back, but sure.
I was freaking out. I was like,
right.
Am I lying?
That's how I felt when I played Dragon Up Online. I swear I'm blocking.
Okay, so we're good. And then, yeah, if you try the down back option, even if I do like even if I do the meatiest low possible, you should be able to block. Unless I hit you on the ground. Okay.
And you hit me on the ground because I didn't tech. So there's still a small window. If I don't tech, there's always a window where I can just get hit on the ground. So to avoid that, I need to tech.
Yes, there we go.
99% of the time, I'm going to be mashing 1 or 3 or something.
Yes,
and then
as soon as you get knocked down, mashing. Like if you ever go to like if you ever look at like offline Tekken players, the buttons get so loud and they're in the air. So you're like, what are you doing? It's like you're mashing tech.
Gotcha. And I will keep it basic for now. That's usually my game plan. But now I know at least if things get funky, what else to look for. Sounds good. Before my brain explodes with the wake-up game, I'm going to keep it simple with what I can digest for now. The other thing I wanted to know a little bit about is, man, what the hell's a Korean backdash?
I
gotta know.
My favorite question.
I gotta know. So my understanding of Korean backdash is you have a backdash, and you can cancel that backdash to crouching, and then you can use that to stop your backdash momentum early, and then you can exit this crouch into another back input, and the down back and the back counts as the first input for your dash. And then you can do a second backdash and then cancel it with a crouch and then repeat over and over.
Almost perfect.
Okay.
That down back counts as your extra back is not mechanically true of the game. It is generally true by how people use the controller. So by naturally releasing to the backward and neutral, people tend to roll back. If you look at my inputs here, it looks like I just let go and the game isn't giving me that for free. I can let go and go straight to neutral. I messed up. I can let go and go straight to neutral.
Okay, that makes so much more sense. Yeah, because I usually go straight to neutral. Let me see your inputs there.
If I do it as slow as possible, it looks like this. I am going... This is back number 1, neutral, back number 2, and that gives the dash. So, backdash, crouch. Backdash, crouch. And one good way to do it, is from crouching, actually.
And the other thing also is you want to delay a little bit before you hit down back, correct? Because that way you don't cancel your backwards momentum too soon.
If I cancel too fast, it looks like this.
Right.
I go nowhere. You picked a hard character to do it on, too, because if you mess up, you get that little back sway, I'm sure.
I heard people said the sway characters are harder to do this, but I still don't really understand.
The reason is some people, instead of doing the clean diagonal, will do my inputs here, where they just do quarter circle back.
And that's why this see that being a bit of a shortcut. Okay.
Yeah.
You were kind of blocking during this, right? Because neutral is a blocking state.
Yep.
And to mids, at least. Back is a blocking state to mids. So down back, you would be vulnerable to mids for a short period of time, right? But everything else is kind of a blocking state.
I used to obsess over getting a 1 frame down back in my backdashes because I was so scared of getting hit by mid.
So you would want to minimize the amount of time you're in down back as much as possible. Okay, so it's kind of like you're doing a dash, you hold that second backdash, you want to just hit that down back short as possible, immediately to back, neutral, back, hold that one for a little bit. There's something about the rhythm to this that has not clicked at all, and I feel like it's one of those things where once a rhythm clicks, I think you can start working on it much more, but there's been no rhythm clicking for me.
For me, the method I learned was from Speed Kicks, and he first talks about getting the movement perfect, like getting your inputs completely clean, which I think you've already done. And then the key step for the practice is practicing the single cancels from crouch. So if you can crouch like this and do a single backdash like this, with the exact clean input, you're on your way. But if your inputs aren't clean when you try that, there's some hand technique to work on, some other things to nail from crouch, getting that exact input we want. So try one right now. And one more time. Yeah, that's pretty good. So now what you want to do is do your down back later. Yeah. Yeah, even later. Even later. Like go as late as you can.
I'm having trouble doing the dash fast and then pausing and then doing the down back.
It's pretty hard on a Japanese stick to get like a really, really crisp 1 frame down back backdash. I wouldn't worry about it. As long as you can move the way you want to, you're probably going to do good. And so I think you're on the way to getting it. It's just going to be a matter of really, really delaying that crouch as long as you can. The cancellation is so fluid. I wouldn't even say there's no such thing as too late.
Okay.
It's just if you're canceling slower than you can mash back, then it's probably not worth it. But there's no such thing as like missing the window. Oh. You're just going to end up being slower than a spam back.
I haven't done this in a long time. Okay, this gives me a good comparison. I actually haven't seen how slow backdashing regularly is. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so they
buffed it in this
faster.
Game. It's way faster in this game to move backwards just by spamming back.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've at least been moving faster than that. Okay, that gives me a little boost of confidence because I have not been doing this at least.
Yeah.
What about sidestepping during all that? Like, does that come into play? Because I feel like if I sidestep, it makes it so much easier.
The reason we don't do it generally is because you lose that advantage of the safety you brought up.
Right.
If you are at any point inputting sidestep, you are losing that natural blocking advantage of the neutral guard.
So mids will smack you during a sidestep if you don't
mids,
evade
highs,
them.
and lows. Yeah.
Highs too?
You were just
it makes
straight
sense.
up not blocking. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So the reason we wanted a KBD is because it's just safe as hell.
Yes, that is precisely why. Then that was what made it so scary fighting those players back in the day. Is you can't hit them because you'll whiff, but if you try to chase them, they're also blocking. It's like what? That's insane.
Okay, one last question about the input.
Yes.
So you're going from down back to back. So you're kind of riding the gate from the down back to back, release back, right?
I'm riding it very, yeah.
Got to ride the gate. Okay. Because it feels like when I go from down back to back, I'm kind of wanting to hit neutral first. And I think that's making this extra chunky for me.
Yeah, I'm like, not only am I riding the gate, I'm also rolling my non-thumb, like whatever finger you're using. I use my middle finger.
Sure.
I'm like rolling it to the back position.
Rolling it to the back position.
Hard to describe. Let me see if I can set up I have my hand cam. This stick isn't hooked up to the game, but I will do a backdash like this. This is my down back, back, back. Down back, back, neutral back. So when it's fast, I can get
hold on. There's both a desync from the stream and your video, and also a girl in spandex on your stick. So hold on.
I can mute my Discord.
Very distracted
and you can listen
here.
to me through the stream, if that helps.
Just show the movement one more time without trying to synchronize your voice. It's fiddling around there. And this is you KBD left, right? So you're doing like back.
Yeah, back.
Down back. And you're using your middle finger to hit down back and pull it back to back, and then the second back you're doing with your thumb.
That is precisely right. I pull it back to the second back, release to neutral, and my thumb handles the second back.
I had no idea Tekken was this sensual, man. This has been a very intimate session. TOS, not gonna lie, maybe. We'll see if we survive. Well, here, let me restart so I'm on the good side, because I can't even do what you just did. I'm assuming there's a whole other technique for the other side then.
It's a lot of just do it with your hand.
Yeah, dude, I hate doing things that require you pushing with your wrist. Leverless is better about that, but even on Leverless, I have the same issues with different things. Fingers working in one direction, not the other. Very asymmetrical. Yeah,
that's why I swapped to Korean lever, actually, is just because of the player 2 backdash. I could do the player 1 fine on both inputs, but I wanted the rubber in the stick to help me do it faster.
You gotta get sprung with the recoil. Okay, understood. Is there any other like basic movement stuff that you think I should learn as a super beginner? Like, I mean, I know there's so much to go into the weeds with sidestep and all that. I mean, I understand to use it here and there, and I know it makes things whiff, and I know there's tracking moves and things like that. But is there anything super high level that would be good to cover right now?
I think it's very worth training early to do like sidestep guard, sidewalk guard, both directions, right? So you want to do it such that you input the walk, and then your character is blocking right after. Just minimize the vulnerability. Sometimes you'll want to do sidestep low parry. So like do Paul's down forward 1 into back sway into that low you were doing. So what I can do here is I can sidestep right, low parry every option. So if you try to do the mid, I should dodge it unless they change that. Yeah.
Speaking of low parry, what's that window like? My experience with low parry is I've only done it on accident so far.
Exact number may have changed in Tekken 8, but I think this is best learned by feel. So I'm going to jab your block, and then I want you to input a low parry like as late as possible for my low. Okay, so I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm doing jab and then down 2.
Okay.
So try to do it as late as possible. Yep. Okay. Now try to do it as early as possible. Yes. There's a window where you can hold it.
Whoa, you can do it
until
super
it
early.
expires.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get a really minus move here. So let's do that. I'm gonna do this and then do your low parry. So you see how it expired even though you were holding it?
Right. I delayed it.
Okay, so you can see here that there is a window where it expires.
Right.
And you'll figure this out by feel. So try and nail it. Yeah.
It's still such a generous window. It's crazy.
And so you might see pro players sometimes look like they're teabagging. What they're doing is refreshing the low parry input.
I see. Okay. Can you do that same sequence? I'm going to try to low parry twice.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
3 times. Okay, I see. So if I know for certain a string is coming like that, I can just start mashing that.
I think low parry is best held for the maximum duration that you can.
Sure.
Right?
Makes sense.
Some exceptions. There's a player, Glaciating. He would do backdash, and instead of doing the Korean backdash, he does backdash low parry. So if you chase him and try to hit him low, and he has your timing, you get launched. So some people are really cracked with this. I can't do it very well because I do it a bit slow. And Dragunov has this crouch dash, so you have to be really clean. Our characters both, like, QCF is an input, so you have to be super clean with that. I don't recommend it. It's really hard,
sure.
You have to have perfect timing to do it anyways.
Understood.
But moral of the story, low parry can be held like 20-something frames, and it works, which is awesome. And yeah, holding it just reduces that margin of error. Obviously, you're more open to the mids, but if you're confident enough to low parry, you probably have a good idea. Something's coming.
Okay, very cool. I think I could actually incorporate that. I can definitely at least recognize certain strings now after playing online a couple of days here where I feel like there's something more I could be doing, and I think that might be it. Cool. Right, well, I don't know if there's anything else I could absorb in one session. I feel like that was a lot of information, but super valuable fundamentals to have. So at least I can get off the ground, tech a rolling death cradle, maybe low parry something and pop off, and pretend to Korean backdash.
Yes. No, I think that's a good section of understanding to arrive at. It'll definitely probably be less frustrating, right? Like, at least you'll know if you're getting hit off the ground, there's a different option you can pick. Hopefully that was helpful. I know
that was awesome.
I know I went on some tangents, but I appreciated.
That was great. That was great. I think we'll wrap it up there. So thanks again, man, for coming on. This will probably go to YouTube. So do you want to give the people a shout out to where they can find you?
Yes, my YouTube is PhiDX. My Twitter is PhiDX Games. I need to get that guy's Twitter handle. It's
impossible.
For like 10 years.
Hey, same here, man. Same here.
Yes. I'm on YouTube and Twitch as PhiDX, Twitter as PhiDX Games, and I just wrote this big beginner guide that goes through a lot of the situations we talked about. So if other people are getting into Tekken for the first time, I try to show a lot of visuals and comparisons to make it really painless to go through all these situations. So I recommend people check that out if you want to learn Tekken and not get bodied by all of these silly traps and knowledge checks and things. All
right, man. Thanks again for coming on. Appreciate it. I'm going to go forget everything I learned and then relearn it right after. And you know how the process goes.
Thank you for the time, man. Appreciated it.
For sure. Take care. Glad you're opening your fighting game horizons. I mean, I've done this before. It's just I'm busy. I'm busy with Street Fighter, right? So I've done these kind of things with Melee, Melty Blood. It's not my first time kind of bringing an expert on and show me the ropes in a new game. It's a lot.